So that specifically, the first thing that comes to mind is, I come from an era when certain products warrant walking the halls, so to speak, knocking doors, cold calling, right? And so those things have changed dramatically in the past 6 years or so, even before COVID. Things were waning like that. Walking halls, more secure buildings in general. You can't just bother people, and so the idea of a warm call, I think, has really become the way to go. And with the advent of I think the advantages that allows for is to deliver value sooner. You can deliver a message that's very valuable with very little upfront conversations. It used to be break the ice with a call, and then you learn on the call what the person's doing and what they need, and maybe I can help you, let's jump on a call. Now you can say with pretty much certainty, I can help you, and here's how. And I want to talk more on the phone, or let's have a Teams meeting and let's go over your next project. I see your last project was XYZ, and we have customers that are doing that right now. And it just puts yourself in a more mutually beneficial space faster. You don't have to waste their time with nonsense about learning what they're doing. You can do it much, much faster now with AI, the internet, publications. It's just easier to find that information now more than ever.
Yeah, so you're saying you have access to what they're doing, more insight into their work before the actual call,
Yeah,
so
per
you're more prepared.
call, it's no longer a cold call. Every call can be a warm call,
Interesting. Interesting. I like that.
and it just depends.
Yeah.
Certain products, you're not going to necessarily have to do that. Some things are more transactional in nature. So it's not necessary to go that deep into anything. With less information, be able to present a value statement faster. But if you, as a salesperson, providing solutions that are more of a capital equipment or some sort of long term or big budget item or solution, you need to have that information, probably deeper and more detailed information to get to that value statement faster. So you have to know what they're
Yeah.
doing, what they want to do, or what they have been doing. And again, using AI to kind of connect the dots with maybe three or four of their publications and then wrap it into your solution. And then you can bring a couple of different value points from, that they maybe weren't thinking about right now. Maybe they didn't use that type of solution before, but moving forward, it might be very valuable. And the technology is making that it's not very easy, but it's easier than it has been.
So do you find now even more challenging to get that initial warm call conversation, whether it's in person or on a Teams call, because you can't really go and walk the halls, as you say,
Yeah.
anymore, and you pretty much have to reach out
Well,
virtually?
I think that
What do you think?
so yes and no. So I think people are more apt to actually have a Teams call, a virtual, we're doing it right now, right? We say Teams as a Kleenex. It's a ubiquitous term. This isn't necessarily Teams, but
Like a
Zoom
video call? Yeah.
or Skype
Yeah.
or whatever. If a virtual, I think people are more apt to do that now. It's less intrusive than knocking on their door and saying, "Hello, I'm here," or ringing them on the phone. Nobody answers the phone anymore. It's
It's rare.
caller ID and all these other things answers
Yeah.
the phone. Email is good, and then if you can have that conversation to close by email, I guess that's good. I've never done it, but
You're a
you
rock
know,
star.
it's if you can pull it
You're a
off,
superhero.
for you. But no, I mean, having a face-to-face meeting is important. Phone calls are great, but the ability to show people things and reading their body language is important, and connecting with people that way is important. So I think they're more apt to do it now, given the availability of the technology. And also, I think, on the other hand, you need to still make it worth their while. So you still have to come to the table with the introduction via email or something. LinkedIn is great for that as well, connecting with people. There are a lot of different tools to find the right people you're looking for, but again, they're there. I don't want to dive into all of them, but The tools to find the people that you need to get in touch with are out there, and their work is out there. The delivery of the message of value is not easy. Don't get me wrong. If you want to do it, you can do it with what's out there right now. It's there to do this last
Yeah.
simple warm call.
Yeah, no, what struck me that was interesting what you said is, we're able to bring value sooner or
Yeah.
faster to the customer with the access to technology. At the same time, do you find customers these days versus 15, 20 years ago just busier more than ever before? So they kind of almost expect it now. It's like, hey, don't waste my time. I got all this stuff going on. People are stretched thin. And it's like, do you have that pressure to say, okay, this is what you're dealing with. This is how I can help on a first call right away. You're trying to fit everything in because you may not have a second or third call because everyone's just so slammed, including yourself.
Yeah, and absolutely true. And for different reasons, I think the decision makers are always busy. The people that you really want to get in touch with have always been busy. So it's not that they're any more busy necessarily, but I mean, they are, don't get me wrong. I think they are more busy, but I don't think it's exponentially so. I think with technology comes fewer people doing things. So if someone in our world sells a product that makes a lab more efficient, I had a customer once that said, "Hey, Rob, I thought you were going to less work to do." And I said, "What do you mean?" And so the product I was selling then was at, at our former employer.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, you said it would, like, I wouldn't have as many assays to run." And I said, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "Well, now my PI has me doing all these other things. So I'm not less busy, I'm more busy." And I said, "Well, I made you more productive." Okay. So it was a matter of semantics at this point. So, you know,
You
he,
would spin it.
yeah. So I think when we have technology in the labs in science, you are diminishing some of the people in the lab. They're being replaced with whatever technology it is that makes it more efficient. However, those people are now they're busier because they are now doing multiple jobs and allowing some of those jobs to be done by whatever machinery or AI or whatever it is, robotics
Yeah.
and so yeah, those people are busier and the PIs are, the people in charge, the higher ups they have different concerns, publications, funding, grants, and if they're in the commercial space, they're over a lot of people and groups and departments and they're on timelines for clinical trials or the next phase and release and all those things. So they have
Hmm.
different concerns and I think to your point, yes, they are busier, but not those higher ups aren't necessarily exponentially busy. But when you can deliver that message that you know what they're doing, they're going to be more likely to talk with you.
That's very definitely very powerful.